very early teens, I went to a psychiatrist with the intention of actually having gender reassignment. So at that point, I felt that I wasn't male, I was female, and went along to a psychiatrist, and I over time was actually accepted, was told that yes, I could have gender reassignment, and it was really only after I was given the green light to have the operation that I basically one day just took stock of myself, and I stood in front of the mirror, and looked at myself and thought, well, I could have the operation. I can have the operation. They've said that's okay. But am I going to be happy?
I guess that was one of the other reasons why we were attracted to each other, is that I've never really fit in with the group of people I was with anyway. I've never really known how I belonged in this society. So it was when he talked about being an outsider and not fitting in, I understood exactly what he was talking about. Obviously not with the same dynamic, but certainly I had an understanding of just not being the same as everyone else. Everybody's fearful of the end, and I guess I'm a little bit more philosophical about death. The only reason why I fear it is because there's so much more that I have to do, and I know there's so much more that Matthew has to do. Everybody dies. It's not something that is only going to happen to Matthew. His may be a little bit closer than anybody else's.
I'm comfortable with the idea of death now. I think basically because I've been spoilt. I've been spoilt by the fact I've had so many years. But I know in the early years it was very difficult. Having to explain to Chanel, my daughter, that possibly I wasn't going to be around for her growing up. And it's a very difficult thing to explain to a young child. But because of who I am, because of the level of honesty I feel is necessary. So I mean, these subjects are difficult, especially when you're talking to other people about them. But nevertheless, there's a need to be open about them. It's only fair on the people who you affect in life. Nowadays, I mean, obviously, I have a new partner, a new wife, and we do talk about it. Whether there are, we've talked about how it will be if I do get sick, what has to happen, and it's obviously not something that either of us look forward to, but it's still a major part of who I am, and it informs my artwork on a daily basis. So it's very difficult. You can't just walk away from something like that, and a lot of the times, my close friends and family have said, why do you fixate on this? Why is it such an issue? They're used to it now. I think it was. I sort of fixate on it because there's still this taboo. There's still this this thing about being HIV positive, and it being you becoming a victim. Okay, and I don't think there's a need for. There's no need to be disempowered by it. Okay, it is just another terminal illness. I mean, everyone's going to die someday. Obviously, I have the benefit of knowing I'll die probably sooner than later. Much of the artwork these days that I produce is autobiographical in a sense. It has issues in it that directly relate to my life and directly relate to my views on gender and politics and well, life in general. I mean, all these sort of things come up in the work.
I'm his biggest fan, but I'm also his biggest critic. I mean, I'm one of those. I'm probably the only person who's actually allowed to go out there and be really honest and tell him what's wrong with his paintings.
I'm very conscious of what is I'm putting on the canvas to maintain that magic, because really, if there's no magic in the art, it's not really worth seeing. I mean, we don't. If I wanted to produce realistic images, I would take photographs. Maybe put the viewer in position of being the outsider, make them uncomfortable, and that's where the art feeds my need, I suppose. My art and my person, my being, has been obviously been forged by the events in my life. And most of the time now, I channel all the issues I have through my artwork. Much of my work has been produced because I now have fewer people to talk to about the work, about my past. Much of back in the late 80s and early 90s, I lost a good percentage of my friends, probably about 80% of my friends, either to AIDS or to drug use or to murder. These things do happen, and this is the sort of life I grew up with. And I don't encourage anyone, I don't encourage other artists to seek out that sort of lifestyle to get ideas for their art. I think it's more important that people take what's relevant to them. Yes, I've led a rich and varied life, but as I said before, no more rich and varied than any other person. I think it's a matter of each individual to find that seminal core of that reason d'etre, that reason of living in their life, and to work from that.
Crocodile